Everybody waiting for next year video shorts. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns front office today. I would probably, if I'm going to move on from anybody with the Browns, I'm probably moving on from the front office at this point. The the thing that I'm most concerned about is not the plan. I like the plan to stink for a while, tear it down to its core, build with assets, and use those assets to get better and obviously increase the peak of what this team could be by using those assets in the draft and letting them mature together. The problem that I see is that maybe these guys don't know how to put a team together in a team concept. And maybe that's the coach, and maybe I'm misreading these things, but I feel like maybe this crew is Chris Grant. You know, he was brilliant at tearing it down and maximizing asset acquisition. But when it came to making the picks, I guess he did really well with Kyrie Irving, but Kyrie Irving was kind of a consensus. He probably did okay by drafting Tristan Thompson. The rest of his draft record, though, you got Dion Waiters. Chris Grant was the one who drafted Anthony Bennett. And so, even if the plan is good and acquiring the assets is a good plan, if you don't believe that the people who are executing the plan know how to put a team together, it doesn't matter how many assets you have. It just doesn't. And it's not about passing on Carson Wentz necessarily. It's not about passing on Deshaun Watson necessarily. It's about the picks that they do make. And I I like Myles Garrett. It's hard to give them too much credit for the Myles Garrett pick. I know that's unfair, but that's just how it goes. You can't really give Chris Grant a bunch of credit for Kyrie Irving. He was kind of a consensus. All he could do was kind of screw it up. Um, so then you look at the rest of the record. You look at the free agency signings. You look at the other draft picks, and the Browns have done okay. And I certainly still like the Jabril Peppers. I like the Jabril Peppers pick. I didn't want to trade down out of that spot, but I get it. The plan seems like it's a good one. But if you don't have confidence in taking that plan and executing it to the point where they're building an actual football team that can play together and win NFL games, then you do have to make that change. Just because you're on board for the plan doesn't mean that the people executing the plan are the right ones who know how to do it. So if I got a pick, I'm probably getting moving on from or adding to the front office, a strong president with a pedigree in football, and that's not to trash analytics or say that eggheads can't contribute or be a part of front office. It's just to say that it's one thing to maximize your assets and maximize your trade value and accumulate those draft picks. When it comes to building a football team, I think there's a little bit more to it. And I'm not anti spreadsheets. I just think that maybe the spreadsheet should be 30% of the equation, not 75 or 80% of the equation. So we'll see what the Browns do. But at this point, I don't have the full faith and confidence that these guys know how to build a team. So that's what I would do.